Now, it's very important to understand that today, when Google looks at your website to crawl it, to index it, and examine whether it should rank you higher or not, it only looks at the mobile version of your website, not the desktop version. So if you're developing your website, probably you're looking at it from your laptop or computer, but that's not the version Google is going to be looking at. They're going to look at the mobile version. So to get ready for that, you have a couple of options. In your Google Search Console, you have on the left side, you see mobile usability. You have this tab, you can click it and see if there are any problems here on the important pages. Like you see here, for this example, I have some number of pages usable, some not usable. So I would go into the not usable reports and I would see which pages those are. And if it's important for me, then I would go fix those pages. If those pages are not so important for me, if it takes a short time to fix, still fix it. If it takes a really long time to fix those issues, then maybe because it's a low priority page, you may have other higher priority things. But generally speaking, you want to ultimately fix all of these because it's not just a page by page basis. It generally reflects also on your website as a whole if it has problems. So this is one way where you can see, does your website have mobile usability problems? And again, the mobile version is super, super, super important. I cannot overemphasize that. Now, in addition to this tool, I'm going to show you another tool from Google to help you understand if there are any issues with the mobile version of your site. The URL for this tool is search.google.com/test/mobile-friendly. I'll have this URL in the resources section of this video, so you don't have to worry about spelling it or remembering it. I just pasted here that for you so that you can actually see it for yourself, so I don't have to get out of the full screen mode because this presentation mode is a nicer way to look at a video. So I'm going to get rid of this here and let's actually enter my website. So I have it already saved. We're going to enter my website and we're going to say test URL. It's going to analyze for a while. Last time I did this, it took a minute or two. I'm going to fast forward to get the results. Here is how the result page looks like. First of all, very good. This page is mobile friendly, although they did have some issues that they found for me. And on the right side, you'll see how this renders. Now, obviously, all kinds of mobile devices have all kinds of widths and sizes. So you also want to check it on all the mobile devices that you have available, that are actual physical devices, but this does give you at least a first glance at it, a first view. You can also check this here if you get a little warning like page has loading issues and you go to view details. For me, there'll be unique issues because, it's something that I did with specific things on my website, like this URL has something wrong with it. So I have to look into it and look into the issue. For example, this has a redirection error, so I'll have to go in and look at the code and fix this. Also, there's some issues with like the Google Analytics code that they gave me. All these issues, some of them require digging into. Some of them don't. Some of them are simple. It just depends on your level of proficiency with this. So if you hired a developer for this, you send this over to the developer to check it out. If you're savvy enough with technology, you would just look into this yourself, Google around for how to fix whatever problems they show you, because they're going to show you different problems than they're showing me. So that's the page info. You can also do this for your other pages. For example, you saw that when I entered my URL, I entered like an example of a web page. So for every kind of a template that you have, for example, I have a blog page template and I have a homepage template and I have a sales page template, but I don't have a lot of other different kinds of pages. See, this kind of page rendered a little weirdly on the right side if you look at it. Now, when I checked it on my actual phone, it did not look like this at all. It looked normal. Like here, you see the right side is kind of cut off. So I'd have to investigate why this happened. In my case, I would probably show this to a freelancer because I don't want to dig around in HTML. I could, but it will take me a long time because I just don't have the tools, and I can do the basic stuff, but I don't want to dig into debugging because that would just take me a long time. So definitely put a few of your pages here and see what Google says. Look at the issues it gives you. Maybe it will uncover some problems that are additional problems. And one other thing, there is an option for you to open your site-wide mobile usability report. That's going to just take you to your Google Webmaster tool. If I click that It says select a property, which is your website right here. So you would choose the website that you want. You probably will only have one. So I chose problemio.com, and it took me essentially to my webmasters tool, showing some data specifically about my website. So you don't really need this because it's just not going to be relevant for you. You're not going to see the things that I'm seeing. But essentially now you're able to use that tool. So go ahead and do that and check if the website you're working on is mobile friendly. And if not, you definitely will need to make it mobile friendly, either by using a mobile friendly template or using some HTML settings that your developer, or if you're the developer, would have to figure out what their HTML settings are. In my case, I actually hired a freelancer to help me make my site mobile friendly. So it's something that I outsourced. And for most people, if you have to do this, you'd outsource that as well, especially if you have handwritten HTML.